Welcome back to another edition of Set the Trend podcast, where we talk about our culture and talk everything culture. And today we're gonna have a good talk about a legend brand. I think we should call them a legendary brand. What do we call them?
100%.
100%.
Of course.
Oh, cool.
Definitely.
And of course, I'm here with my co-host. My name is Ray, and Reggie Styles. You're here. Yeah. How's your week been, sir?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. It's all right. Can't complain. You know, it's good to be back in the side share. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're my side chick, yeah?
No.
Okay.
Pause. Why?
But you did, yeah, pause. Watch your speech. But you did a good show anchoring last week. So that's what that comment is about. And of course, Michael Fontaine. How are you doing, sir? EastEnder.
I'm good. Excellent, actually. Another productive week.
Yeah, have you done deals?
Yes, I have done a deal. Done a deal for you as well.
You did.
Sign the checks.
You did.
Contract.
Yeah, very good week.
Yeah, but we can't talk about it yet. we can't talk about it yet because it's not official.
It's not
and it's got to
official.
be released. As you know, we've got to roll out these things as part of the comms.
Oh, okay.
The comms has got to
Yeah.
be proper,
Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
All right.
but we've got a big person to talk about in the next couple of weeks.
Fantastic.
Yeah, is that right?
So,
All right, so let's get on with it. This show, we're going to talk about a brand that's been going, I think about nearly 30 years, if not thereabouts, if not longer. But they're going to tell me if the accurate date. I'm sure they are going to tell me the accurate date.
I don't know if they were born yet.
We're about to find that out with... definitely, the brand is a legend in the business and has brought a lot of happiness to us over the years. There was a co-brand, RMP, and now they're just strictly going by the name of MJR, and I'm sure we're going to get into the reasons why about that. But welcome to the MJR family in the building. How are we doing? Brownie Rockers.
Thank you for having us. Doing well.
Tanya and the CEO, Darren. How you doing, sir? You good?
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Good. Welcome. If you put the mic up a bit, I don't know when you're speaking though, but cool. Now, as I said, when I talk about legendary, you know, MJR started off as a sound, firstly, and
Correct.
and that was the main characters in MJR back in the day when it was first started. Was
Basically, it was Mikey. I don't know if you remember Jigs from Choice FM.
yes,
He
of course,
was
I
the
remember
original
Jigs,
member,
yeah.
and Mikey's brother Robert.
yeah.
Robert. Oh, so that was the MJR. All right.
Mikey.
Everyone always thought the R was Richie, but
But that was later on. That was later on. And they were a sound system first of all, weren't they? Yeah. So they just did things. They just played music for love, blues dances, halls. But there was a bougie sound, weren't they? If I remember rightly.
bougie sound.
Bougie.
Dresses.
Bougie.
They're all dresses, isn't it?
Yeah, they was all dresses, definitely dresses. I think most people was them time there. It was about shoes and trousers.
Yes.
Yeah. But it wasn't into the proper sound like the clashing business and so and whatever. No. It was more
Definitely
party music and so forth.
Definitely a
Yeah?
party environment.
From
definitely a party
Southeast London, Southwest,
South
Southwest,
London.
South London.
Definitely South.
South London. So, and then it progressed from the music time, and then which you were part of. I don't know, when did you join Brownie?
Well, basically, it was Dennis and Mouse first, so I would have been, I couldn't tell you the year, but I was about 16, and I'm in my 40s now.
Wow. Well, you don't look it. Well, you don't look it.
Very much.
Okay, so that was right. So there's a bit of that history there that we're going to go over at another time in terms of the sound business when we have the other two in there as well. And I know we're going to touch on it a bit because obviously we're going to talk about Mikey, who passed away. He was he was the biggest influence in that sound, and was he the one that come up with the concept of doing the Weekender? Darren,
He was, yes.
right? And do you know what year that he thought about that? Because he was probably like running around in your short pants about that time there.
I'm going to say, I believe it was 88.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1988, I believe. But I will get corrected by Philip.
Philip knows it. Well, in terms of, so when he first started the Weekender, was it always somewhere like Butlins, or was it different when he started off the first one? Because obviously I wasn't old enough to be there, so I can't remember.
From my memory, I remember it being Devon. I remember it being Devon. I remember it being caravans, and I remember it being chalets. I remember being very young and very little as well.
So all of you got brought along.
Basically, yeah. I think I was about 7, 8 at the time.
Wow.
So it kind of started off like what I remember it is with being 3 coaches, one being Mikey, one being my dad Richie, and one being Uncle Philip. And it was family, children, all together, raving together, which was really a good, fantastic concept. That's what I remember.
So that was part of keeping the family tight and
Yeah,
close
yeah.
at the time and that.
And then they started having teenager raves, and that was very interesting.
Why was it interesting?
Because as a young person, you get to go out. Because before it was like we'd just be we'd be in our little caravans watching our dads getting dressed, and we'd just be together playing a game or something. And then when you obviously got older enough, there was like a little chalet party. See, that's when the chalet parties actually started. We started it, I think. We were like little chalet parties. Yeah.
So that went over. So you arrived on the Friday,
Yes.
and then it just followed the traditional pattern, which was arrived on a Friday. Friday night would be a party. Saturday would be whatever in the daytime.
I'm trying to think, David. I'm
From
trying to
the
think back in the days. Like it's hard to remember like what activities
Well,
were on. I think it was no. I think it was more socializing, us going into each other's like chalets and caravans and just kind of coming together.
Definitely more, because there wasn't no comedy shows or nothing like that back then.
Right, okay.
We literally going there to have a chalet party. It wasn't even really in a hall. There's literally chalet parties.
What was that for the grown-ups as well as the young ones, or was that just for your age group in the chalet parties?
To be honest, I'll say the young ones. It was literally the kids, the cousins.
So who's playing the music anyway that time?
Probably Mikey. I don't know.
So, and then you did the Sunday, and then you came on the Monday. So it's always been traditionally that Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, and then you go home?
Yeah, to my memory. Yeah.
So when did it kind of explode from 3 coaches? When did it kind of get into a business? Because that wasn't really a business. That was more just a family kind of getting together, close cousins and everything else probably, and just going down there with friends and family. So when did it actually start turning into a business? Do you remember at all?
From what I can remember, I mean, we went to Devon probably maybe 6, 7 times. It could be more, I don't know, but I think every year it just kept building, just by word of mouth, literally. You know, like, I don't think Mikey actually, when he started off, he planned to make it like that, but when you see people coming every year, it's getting more and more people coming every year, then you start to visualize, you start to have a dream, so I think that's what happened.
And when did he start booking sounds? Do you remember? Or DJs to
Yeah,
play?
I saw the flyer for 89, that was in Devon, which he had Studio One, he had Hyper ESQ, so DJs was always coming. Sometimes they just used to take a minibus themselves and just drive down, you know? So one by one, every year he just had one more sound. I did one more sound, to eventually, I think he knew he was onto a winner. You know?
So in terms of business-wise, so it explodes. Around that time, I suppose you guys are still coming along with him, not as handbags, but as kind of, what was you doing then? Was you inviting, because obviously there was your age group, so it was only, I don't think, the newer ones wouldn't know that you had 2 halls in the end. From when I started to come there was the older people had their age, rave, and then there was a younger age group, up until, was it 16 or 17 could go in that hall? Or you had to be up to a certain age? In fact, you had to be a certain age to go into the big people's hall, didn't you? Yeah, which was what? Was that 17 or 18? I couldn't remember, or 16.
What's this from, like, Pontins, like Great Yarmouth?
Definitely over 18.
18. So the 18-year-olds and younger would have their own rave, yeah?
Yeah.
And that would finish earlier, wouldn't it? That would finish.
Yeah, that did finish early.
What was early? What was early? Was it 1 or 2? That wasn't early though.
It was early for us. It was early for us.
So how did that work? So you had your own DJ. So the younger one. So who chose the younger DJs first of all? So who chose or the teeny boppers DJs? Who chose that?
Well, the younger DJs, it would have stemmed from, it would always be somebody that's something to do with the family. Either Mikey's, who would know them, or somebody got introduced. It would never be just like somebody random. You have to be like not really a family member, but a family friend or something like that. It would start like that.
On that age group?
On that age group.
And on the bigger age group, was that the same concept that he kept it close and tight, or?
He definitely kept it close and tight. Because if you notice, for many years, it was the same sounds all the time. And then it just started getting bigger. But the ones that stayed at the beginning, they was always there. He just added new additions. But he was big on loyalty, you know.
Talking about that loyalty, I mean, he must have trusted people like, I take it, the people who were helping to organise with people like the aunties and the cousins and stuff like that. Do you want to elaborate a bit more on how that came about and how you managed to rope in some of these guys?
Well, most of the people, they was going anyway.
Okay.
They was going, and then they wanted to be a part of it. They believed they liked the concept. They just liked the family-orientated stuff. So most people would have just put their mouth forward and said, I want to be involved. Can I help? Can I be involved? Mikey will look at your character and basically go by that.
But Mikey was someone that was big on loyalty. I think he chose a person on their character and on their loyalty first.
For sure.
And their skills was something that he looked to develop. And I think that was the mantra for the whole three of them. They each had their different characters. And just before I move on to go on to about you lot, I want to talk about the different characters. So, yeah. Oh, no, you're not laughing, yeah? So, tell me about Philip first. What was Philip's role and what did he bring to the table?
Philip, I call him the diplomatic one. Philip basically used to look after the comedians and, you know, the cabaret show. That Philip used to look after that, basically. Sort out all of that.
And what did he bring to the relationship in terms of, like, you know, when you're sitting around the table and everybody's got a different kind of character to put into it. How was he?
Philip is a very wise man, you know. Very wise man. He's always got words of wisdom and he's always positive. You would never hear nothing negative come out of Philip's mouth. So I think he's definitely a character that you needed because Mikey was not a big talker. Definitely not a talker. So he had to have somebody to talk for him. You know? And
that was Philip.
That time, yes.
It's Philip.
At the beginning. And then Audrina joined. Then Audrina took over with that part there. You know, so.
It was her. So, Richie, Tanya, your father.
My
Richie.
father.
The notorious Richie. What did... We're laughing already.
I don't know why everyone's laughing.
I know half the people who know Richie must be laughing. Boy, no best mind what you're talking. No. Anyway. What did Richie bring to the table? Or what was Richie's character?
Do you know what? From what I remember, his forte was like more to do with the security. Mikey always kind of said, "You got my back," and that's what my dad always had his back. You know, I would say he was the muscle. Like, as we know, my dad is a very strong character, and if he sees a situation that needs to be dealt with, he will deal with it. He may be not as diplomatic as Philip, but at the same time, he would try to resolve the issue. So as much as people would say he's like quite fiery, he also had another side to him as well. So he wasn't always the person that people make him out to be. He can be a calm, spirited person as well.
It's funny because that's how I know him now. As we went along, I think in the beginning, Richie's old school in the way that he don't let you into his inner circle. You know what I mean? He's very much, let me see what you're about. You know what I mean? And how you react to the situation and how you and how you interact with the people. Do you have respect? You know what I'm saying to you? And then from that bits goes, like, to me, he's just he's fine. But if you step across that mark, he was definitely the person that would tell you to, you best get back over that line before I come over.
And I think that's where, I remember like years ago, my friends just go, right, your dad's Richie, Cutthroat Richie. I'm thinking, whose throat did he cut? Why? What's going on here? I said, Dad, why are you called Cutthroat Richie? And I understood it. Like, he don't take no nonsense. He's cutting you right there and then dead, and that's it, kind of thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was Richie. Cool. So we're going to come to Mikey, Darren. I know it's going to be probably be a bit hard for you. But what did you see from your side of the fence when you was growing up with your father? What did you see that he brought to the table?
Boy, he was a workaholic, a perfectionist. He was always working. So I know nowadays we've got the internet and we can do websites and sales. He was pretty much booking form and writing it down on a piece of paper, pen and paper, notepad, everyone's name, their number, and writing what they've paid and what they haven't paid and sign it off. Everyone had his signature, M. Rennie, and he'll pull it in his file of facts and just make sure everything's organised. It was all paper. It was all paperwork. All paperwork. Yeah. He wasn't interested in all like websites or anything like that. He just wanted to have that personal touch with the people, with the customers. That's what he was about. That people's personal touch, the people skills. Yeah, people person, and he was very much for the people. He done this for the people. You know, I know a lot of people say it now, but he didn't care about money or how much money he was going to make or lose. He was doing it strictly for the people, and yeah.
It's kind of like continuing that whole, like when the Windrush generation first came over and tried to keep the community together. I always saw that as well with the Caribbean weekend, and anything that Mikey did, kind of like, you know, you could feel that energy, and you could tell it wasn't just a money thing like you just said. You know,
my first-hand experience as a young man coming from East London, going to South London, my first-hand experience with MJR was the cricket club.
Yes, Dulwich.
How important was the cricket club to you guys? What can you remember about it?
Well, I was young then, so I let Brownie. We didn't start helping out until later.
That's
the beginning.
My apprenticeship. That's where I learned everything. I mean, at a young age, I was very fortunate to be able to go to this dance in the first place as well. Because I wasn't a mic man then, I was just a box boy. I'll be honest with you.
And let everyone know, the audience is watching this, where the cricket club was and what the cricket club was.
Basically, that was in Dulwich, which was like our area. Mikey was the original Dulwich man. So it's nice that he found us. So basically, it was like a community thing, basically. I mean, Mobile Cricket Club for me was, I don't know, it's emotional.
Some great memories, yeah?
Great memories. I mean, I was with that circuit before I joined the other circuit. I was with Mikey. I mean, I was about 16, 17, dancing with big women then, right?
I was just about to say, my first introduction to cricket club, I remember Buppy C on Vibes FM. He was the first person that took me. I remember we were at a dance and then he said, oh, we're going to this after party in cricket club. I said, where, Dulwich? What, Dulwich Cricket Club? So I thought it was Dulwich Cricket Club. And then we went to Marlborough and I was in there. I was like, some big women in there.
The cricket club was the beginning of a lot of things.
Definitely, they endorsed us, you know. Once Mikey said, that's my boys, you know what I mean? That was it, to be honest with you. So I give thanks for that. We met a lot of good people, big men as well, that looked after us, showed us the way.
Yeah, that was another moment for you guys. And then the other moment that people know you for as well is Portugal. The week away in Portugal, Algarve. 2003 or 4 did that start?
Yeah, it would have been early 2000.
Yeah, because I missed the first one. The first one I wasn't on. The second one I was on. Do you know why Mikey started Portugal?
The thing is, I don't know how he came up with this idea. I don't know. He went there one time and just thought, you know what? I want to try this thing. He was always about trying something different as well. You know?
And that was against some hand-picked DJs, which was a mixture of the first one. But as Mikey would go on and do, because he also did Far East as well, didn't he? he was
He
going
started
Far
doing
East
that.
a couple of times, innit?
Yeah.
And he brought a different set of close DJs to the Far East with him. I nearly forgot about that. Yeah, so that was another thing that was doing. But Portugal was another one, and Portugal ran. I mean, he's still running now, so we're going to go to talk about that. And that was started in 2000, and I think it was 2003. You know.
I think it was 2003. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I went 2004. I think was my first one. Then you blessed with that, and that was that weekend. That I mean, I'm not being funny. It's just no, like you're going in it, and as I said, it's just like a family thing. It's just like you know everybody from them times. You know, you just like you knew everybody. Even though you didn't know everybody, but it was just that kind of vibe that you got. Because only about, what, 150 people?
Yeah.
100, he started small.
It started small.
It's not there now, though, is it?
It's not there.
It's
Yeah.
from big numbers now.
A bit more. A bit more.
Right,
Can
so
I just apologise for me not even going to Portugal or hardly? Yeah, I never ever went to one.
you can fit in.
This place.
I'm sorry. I missed it.
So let's move it on a little bit. Your father passed away 2 years ago. 2 years ago, 2022 or 2021.
21.
2021.
Yeah.
Which was a shock to everybody, completely. I think the whole community was gutted that he had passed away. Then it becomes that this big juggernaut is still here. What we gonna do? Are we gonna take it on? Are we not? Are we gonna leave it? What was you thinking about those times, kind of, Darren? Because you kind of came back into it around about those times, innit? So was your experience is different from Tanya's and Brownie's. So you came into it, I would say, a bit more inexperienced than the rest of them in terms of being there on a regular basis. So at that point there, where this legacy has fallen into your lap,
Like Succession, man.
yeah, what are you thinking?
I think
Because because everybody must be turning around to you saying, like, what's happening? What's going on?
who are you? Are you Mikey's son? Yes, yes. Is that Mikey's son? Yes, that's Darren. Yeah, Darren Mouse. No, Darren MJR. So yeah, I get that. I get that all the time. But I think so when he first passed away, I think a lot of people was asking us. A lot of people were disrespectful, actually. Even at the funeral, people were like, "So what? You're gonna continue the weekender? You're not gonna? What are you gonna do? You got to keep it going. I can help you." And we wasn't at that time obviously interested in doing anything.
Yeah, he was mourning.
Yeah, wasn't interested at all. I think I spoke to the heads of RMP, Philip and Richard, and they said that they wasn't gonna do any more weekender. It just wouldn't be the same. So as far as they're concerned, RMP had gone with my dad. So that was it for them, and they just said they're gonna retire. I said, okay, no problem.
But it did help you do one last one before they fully
Yes,
kind of retired.
that was
gracefully, innit?
Portugal.
That was Portugal, yes.
Oh, that was just
Which-
Portugal. It was just a Portugal thing, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, that was Portugal in what was that? October, isn't it? Yeah. That was the Portugal in October. So that was the last one. Philip was there, Audrina was there, and that was because I think when my dad passed away, it was in the times of COVID. So he didn't get to have the send-off that he deserved. So that was nice that we took some of his original foundation members over to Portugal, and that week was very emotional. But we partied, and everyone enjoyed themselves just like he would have wanted everyone to, definitely in Portugal, because we didn't get to do it here in the UK. So yeah.
So when you got the endorsement from Richie and Philip, then what? Because obviously, yeah, it's all right getting an endorsement, but then you got all these other logistical things to now think about. In fact, you got to build a team. So, I mean, who's your team now?
I think the first thing I done was I went through my phone book. The first man I phoned was Double Trouble. I said, Double, we need to do this thing. Double was like, yes, we need to do this thing. Then we phoned Mouse and we phoned David. And we met around my house and we said, let's do the weekender. Everyone's like, but how? How are we gonna do the weekender? Let's do this. And then we spoke to some of the other, because RMP had like a top table, so they had about 5 members in the top table who were the decision makers. So they knew that we had got together and we wanted to do it. So we started to phone everyone, all the reps, and find out who actually wanted to be involved in the Weekender. And at the same time, I think Pontins had contacted me to find out if I still wanted to do the Weekender the following year. So we had said yes, we wanted to do it, and we just wanted to form the team and make sure that we were strong enough and had the reps on board to go ahead and do it. Yeah.
So then you form your team. So you got, I mean, Brownie's doing a different role.
Working.
I've had to grow up.
Pen and paper now, yeah?
Honestly.
So now you've grown up then, Brownie. What's your specific role within the team now?
Basically, the main role is music management. So manage all the sounds, stuff like that.
Reggie's going to kick in a minute.
By the way, I'm just about to say.
Reggie's going to kick in a minute.
So what's the selection process, mate? No, not for me. For any prospective sound system or DJ, you know, all of my friends have played on the bill. That I know, and they've always said it's a great. Yeah. So what's your take on it? Like,
it's not easy. So, I mean, everybody. I would say I'm music management.
But you pass it on to someone else.
I have to pull it to the table.
okay.
And get their blessing, because you have to ask people what they think, but at the same time,
you make the final decision.
Well, sometimes me and Darren knock heads all the time.
Can't put Reggie Styles on the bill, mate.
But that's usual, though.
I wouldn't say it's solely mine like that, but at the same time, I have my input, which is not very easy, because at the same time, you know, as we said, Mikey was very loyal, so we're trying to keep the same authenticness,
balance,
the same balance, and trying to move on with the times as well. Because as you know, I mean, some of the sounds that was 20 years ago, they might not be the same now.
So,
you know,
so how does it also feel like you managing I mean, this must be different, but I mean, you're unruly as it is. So you had to change. So what was the fundamental change? So when you're dealing with DJs now that you might have been unruly with in the past, and now you've got to tell them, this is what I want you to do. How difficult can that be?
It's not easy, but at the same time, it's about respect as well. Because I'm of a certain age, I mean, most of the time that I deal with is older than me. They've been in the business longer than me and that. But it's about respect. I'm very respectful. I mean, everyone knows I'm approachable. You can talk to me if you don't like something.
So now we're talking about DJs. The older lot, as you said, you've got respect for them. But the new guys that are coming through, is that something that you want to push, or are you happy with the older lot?
For sure, you have to find the right balance. Definitely you have to find the right balance. As much as I would like to keep it the same, I mean, like, Mikey was like that. Sam would play, as you know, Ray, you played on the Weekender for maybe
20 years.
20 years, yeah.
Retirement time coming up, Ray.
You know what I'm saying? 20 years, so it's kind of hard not to use some of these same sounds.
Yeah.
I mean, some
Tell them you don't make it.
Yeah, but if they're delivering, and in all fairness,
they take it personal. You hear that part?
Yeah.
Which one?
In all fairness, from what
which one?
No. From what I'm getting though, you have to remember the brand. It's MJR Family. It's not like Southport Weekender.
No, but they create new families. So
I understand that. But
the younger ones that are coming through.
Yeah, but you still want to have your traditional sound systems there.
Say that, I mean, we're very lucky and very fortunate in the sense where most of the people that was partying with RMP, they stayed with us.
There you go.
Even
So you still need to have
young
the sound
promotion,
system.
but we'll have a party and people are 60, certain age, they're still there.
So how difficult has it been, or how easy has it been to keep that core audience with you?
It's been quite easy. I think out of the love they had for Mikey as well, I'll tell you, he was a great man. And everybody saw the movement. They saw when he died, they saw what was happening, they know why we're doing it. So there's many reasons why I think they still carry on supporting us. They love what we do. I mean, people up to this day, they still come up and say, "Nah, I respect you lot. I love what you lot do, keeping the name going and stuff." And it's emotional, honestly.
At the same time, that goes a far distance, but you've still, as a company, got to be offering something that keeps up with whatever else is going on at the same time. So how difficult has it been now to look at all these other things that are happening around you and thinking, well, we was the market leaders, and now you've got all these other people coming up. So how are we going to move it on and keep it still within what we're known for? How difficult has it been to get that vision together?
Nah, it's been very difficult. Well, nothing's easy because everyone's got different ideas. Like my idea might not be the same what Darren wants, or so we still have to come together.
Well, what's some of those ideas that you want that, that you thought wasn't there before, now you want to bring it out now?
Because Mikey was very much, this, it ain't fixed. I mean, it ain't broken.
Don't fix
Like, like we'll just roll it up and just tweak it a little bit. Your approach now, Darren, is what?
I think one of the main things what I do, I'm very grounded. I speak to Richard and Philip all the time. If there's something new, I will go to them first before anyone, and I'll say, look, I want to do this. What do you guys think? I'm quite lucky. Philip lives 2 roads from me, so I always pop round and see him, and Richard don't live too far from me as well. So it's running it by them and seeing, because they've been there, they've done it, they've got the T-shirt. So I run everything by them first and then bring it back to the team, and then we go from there with a lot of things. I remember in 2022, there was a few promoters who said they was going to do a weekender. So I sat back and I thought, okay, Dad's just passed away and there's going to be about two or three weekenders. And I just sat back and watched. Luckily, none of them didn't go ahead. They started it, but didn't
lucky for them,
didn't go ahead. Luckily for them,
A lot of money lost, mate.
Didn't go ahead, and then we came back the year after, and we put on a great show and made people know that MJR Family is still here, and that was good to.
So
to
you're
watch
very
that.
mindful about the competition. As they call it competition, but you're very mindful about the people that are coming up around you. What is it that you think is the secret sauce of the MJR Family Weekender that keeps people coming back? Tanya?
I think it's how we work as a team. We're basically a family. MJR Family says it. We work as a team. We may not agree all the time, but we come together and the love is there. And I think one thing we have is our reps as well. We really rely on our reps as well. So we have that family, we have that personal touch. When we have to contact our patrons, we're doing it literally picking up the phone, messaging, and we've got a team behind us. I can't tell you how much reps we have. I think there's about 70 of us all together on the team. 70 of us. But I think it's that. So when we are in Portugal and, we've got our numbers, we're able to give that personal touch. We're there in the morning, we're there on at the events. We're last there at the last there as well. So I think it's that. And I think it's the legacy that our dads had as well. I think those people are still there. And I think, like me and Darren, my god brother, love him dearly, our friends are coming back as well. So it's also it is. It's like a unity.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. And then people hear about it.
So what's your role?
Because
Because your role, I've seen you over the years, and now you're right up front.
We'll see.
She's right up front.
where do I start? My first role is keeping these two in check. That is my first role.
Is there enough hours in the day to do that?
No, I'm joking. So initially when MJR Family...
Just to pause you there.
Go on.
No, you're not even joking, because... what? No, because I have to... In my experience, when we run Coco, it's very male-orientated. You get me? And we made a decision that we need to bring in some more females to balance up the testosterone that goes on at that top bit there. And I think that's quite right, because the balance is important. That it's there, because you can buck head sometimes. Sometimes there's someone who can take the heat out of an argument, and just bring it back and calm it down a bit. You know what I mean? When you just, you know, like your point, you think, oh no, this is that. Da, 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 da. So don't underplay your role. It's a very important role.
Thank you. Thank you. We do have another female member in the management team, which is Brenda. Auntie Brenda.
Oh yeah, well
Yeah.
she definitely keeps
Yeah.
them 200 chicken. Brenda boy.
But no, it is important. So as I was saying, initially when MJR Family first started, I was just helping him, running social media. Didn't know what I was doing on Instagram, on Facebook, trying a thing, uploading this, uploading that, and it just, my role just grew. You know, I went from the social media manager, and then Darren's like, no, you're wasted. Used to get to management, I was like, nah, I'm all right, I'm studying, I'm working. And then I think it just came with what I do. I just get involved, I get stuck in. And then I've literally been in the management team for less than a year. But I enjoy helping. That's what I enjoy doing. Like I am the diplomatic one. So I do have a piece of my dad. I'm the diplomatic one. And my role, what is my role? I would say logistics. Just making sure things are finely tuned. Always checking in with Darren. You know, is this done? Is that done? Is this done? Is that done? Let's do it this way. We buck heads all the time.
So how do you approach it if it's not done?
Sometimes it depends on what it is, because ultimately Darren does have the say, and sometimes I don't like it. I have to just bear with it. Sometimes I throw a strop. Sometimes we don't talk for a day, and then we talk again. It's fine. It's fine. But if I can help him as much as I can, if I can help the brand be the best as it can, I'm always for the people. That's me. No, Darren, so forth, so forth. Always for the people. Whether the people is management, whether the people is our patrons, which we love and rely on, whether the people's our reps. I'm always for the people. So I'm always being the diplomatic one. My voice for Darren, my voice that Darren calls me, my name is Voice of Reason. Because I always just try to be reasonable and understand both sides of the fence.
I like that. Yeah,
So you talk about logistics, and I'm interested to know, like, this is not one day. It's not like Coco is just one day. This is, what, 3 days? Well, 4 days, effectively, because people turn up on the weekend in advance. Tell us a bit about, like, what you do in the logistics to the lead up to the MJR Weekender.
Yeah, so from the Wednesday.
Yeah.
What's going
Or
on
is
from
it
the Wednesday?
even before? Do you get? When do you get up there, like, as a team?
So, last year, we actually got up on the actual day,
On the
which
Friday.
we actually realised that's not a very good idea.
You learned the hard way.
It's all in the preparation.
Yeah, I think last year prepared us for a lot of stuff. If everything could have gone wrong, everything went wrong. We're not going to go into everything. We're not going to bring up, open sores, wounds and stuff like that. But it was just everything. So, no, we're not doing that.
Who's the commander? I think I know who that is.
Okay, so I'm the commander.
And so for a lot of things ran late
Yeah.
because of the logistics of late coaches, and Darren's coach broke down. So we just had to hit the ground running. So at that stage, it was like we didn't have time to think. It was just literally just one thing after another. And after I sat down thinking, okay, sleep, eat, repeat. So to be honest, it was our first weekender. And I was like, how did our dads do this for so many years? I don't understand. And they still looked young. They still got up and done it. And it wasn't just weekender either, because they done Italy before, and they've done boat trips and seaside trips. So they've been doing this for years and years. And I said to Darren, I think I'm out. I don't know if I can do this again. But we're here again.
The first hurdle.
Yeah, we're here again. We're here again.
So how do you deal with that? So, I mean, it's not just an MJR thing. Those things happen to other people who's going on day trips and everything. Because coaches are some of the things you cannot... If a coach doesn't turn up, we don't own coaches. I don't, and sometimes people think, well, what are you doing about it? Well, I don't own a coach. I've booked with all good faith with a company, a reputable company that has a fleet of coaches, and one hasn't turned up. And when you get one that hasn't turned up or turns up late, how hard is that?
You're speaking with passion.
Of course
It's happened to you as
I
well.
know how it goes.
And the funny thing is, Tanya strikes me as the type of person that does minute by minute itinerary type stuff, and once every you have.
I like things in order. I always have
Yeah.
tabs open. I literally say my brain is like having several tabs open in my head. I like order. I think without order comes mayhem.
So what did that learn you anyway? In
Yeah,
terms
what
of
lesson,
how to
yeah.
deal with that?
Get there 2
Always
days
hat.
early.
No, but you can't. But you can't. For the coaches arriving late, that's something that may not be in your control. So then, how do you deal with the customer coming up, waiting there with their with their luggage?
It's happened.
With their luggage.
From what I remember, on that day, we had some really good reps that was able to
Diffuse.
diffuse the situation. Because I know, for me, I don't like waiting in the cold. I don't like to be outside waiting. And I think the reps that we had on that day helped diffuse that situation. Obviously, you are going to have the customers that are going to be upset with, turning up on a Friday at 3 a.m. in the morning. The rave started at 11.
I
You've
want
missed half
to
of the
know
rave.
the conversation you had with your commander.
No, you don't.
I'm going to have that conversation.
You're a stirrer. So okay, so everybody arrives as much as can be
As much as can be.
on the Friday. Then what happens? Because you've now got, there's your meet and greet. No, there's first you got to get people to their chalet and get people in their chalet and comfortable in their chalet.
And enough people cussing already. Yeah, my bathroom. This,
And then there's the meet and greet. Do you lot talk through the meet and greet beforehand? Do you give it to a special person? Is there a special person that talks on behalf of you lot to everybody on the meet and greet?
See, admittedly, I've never been to the meet and greet because I'm always working and very
Yeah,
busy.
yeah.
Wristbanding.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm still wristbanding. But the person who hosts it is Mr. C.
So Mr. C,
Good guy, yeah.
Mr. C.
So he
Yes.
gives, so he goes through the itinerary for the week, and he tries to be funny.
Hey man. You put in the podcast into disrepute, man.
See, we'll find that funny. You will find that funny. And then you have your first rave for the night. So
Yes.
the first rave for the night will start around midnight.
Friday, it starts midnight.
Midnight. Yeah, midnight. Yeah. So this is where I presume that Brownie's supposed to be out there at midnight.
Yeah, I'm there.
Organising the rooms,
I was
headset.
there. I was there.
So two things I want to go into. Yeah, you're there for midnight. You're called. Your by name is the last man standing. I presume at your age now it still is the last man standing. You still haven't you haven't
think I'm
retired that
retired
name.
now.
You've
You have
that name?
retired? Nah, I don't believe that.
Last man standing was because you would have been the last person to leave the rave. No matter what time it finished, you made sure that you was
Yeah.
last record.
Plus, I'm the last one entertaining. I'm on the mic
From
from the start to the end as much as I can.
Okay. So then we have the DJ. So you're there for the timetables, making sure the DJs arrive on time.
Mm-hmm.
If they play, if their set's a bit wobbly, do you address it? Any of that? Yeah, laugh.
Thing is, I don't really.
No, but you're manager of the music. So you've got every right to
Beforehand, I mean, the DJs that we pick, I don't think that's actually going to happen anyway.
All right.
Because you got to pick the right DJs.
they're all on point.
Yeah, but the last one, sorry, I could talk as an outsider, but the last one, from what I saw, there was quite a lot of people talking about how a certain sound system came and played something totally different
Well,
that
the
they
thing
don't
is,
normally
I've tried
get.
to say to these guys, I would like, ideally, I would like a DJ to be in a dance at least a few hours before your
Couple
time.
hours, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
To listen to what the
To listen to what's being played and stuff like that. So these days, I put this in writing. I will always make up a DJ group now and put these things in, and try to just ask them nicely, like, to repeat what people complain about. You have to kind of let them know sometimes.
So, I mean, most people would say, right, okay, so for instance, Alex who does Southport Weekend, he programs the DJs according to how they play. So everybody gets a different experience. So, sometimes there's that transition between rooms of people coming to hear Fifth
yeah, 'cause
Avenue
that's right, yeah,
and then
you've got
somebody else wanting to hear somebody else. Do you focus a lot on that, or it's just
I do
like
focus a bit
put
on
a
that.
hat in the ring?
I do. You have to.
Right.
You have to kind of balance it up. Then you have to think, all right, this sound normally plays this particular type of music. That sound plays this one, and try and and think, at what time?
Yeah, because you've got 2 rooms. Sorry, because you've got 2 rooms going on. It's not one. So you've got one which is a traditional upfront room for the faster paced music, which is, there isn't a name for that room, is it? It's just the upfront room, isn't it?
The Mikey Dread room.
Okay.
That upfront room is Mikey Dread room. Mikey, where did Mikey get the Mikey Dread room? I'm more familiar with Mikeyville, yeah, which is our thing, as I would say, like my age group thing. And there's been some fond memories. It first was in the pub, wasn't it? Like Mikeyville was in the pub.
The Queen Vic.
Yeah, in the Queen Vic, and those used to be, those are some historical dances.
Historical dances, bro. Honestly. But as you say, but most DJs, most DJs that play on the weekend, even if they haven't played, they've been to a few, so they know what it's about and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
I love these conversations when we talk about these events, and it's always focused on the DJs. But there's a lot of mic men in there, and you're one of the new breeds of mic men.
New?
Well,
You know all these?
well,
The man just told you he was in cricket club at the age of 16.
Yeah, but he wasn't on the microphone in cricket club. Yeah. But
remember, I started younger.
do you question the mic men when they're talking too much, and
Yeah.
do you put a stop to it?
I do sometimes
Who's
if it's too much.
And is there
I mean, it's how you do it as well. Because as I say, you can't be disrespectful, and you don't want to put somebody off. It's how you say things and stuff like that is very important.
Man management.
Yeah, and I think
I've been told this myself sometimes.
sometimes?
what is also, I think, that we need for people to recognise the amount of numbers that you're catering for the 3 days. So it's 2.5, 2.8, two more.
It was, what was the last one, about just under 2. It was
Just under 2.
Yeah.
But you got to about 2.5. I know Mikey's at 2.8 or
He's had 2.5. He's had 3,000.
3,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
3,000 people, 2,000 people over 3 days. For a start, let's look at the financials of that. Not going to go into your actual income and what you make out of it. But Butlins, if you take that amount of numbers, you have to hire the whole site, don't you? So you literally have to pay for the whole site, every chalet in there,
Whether it's used or not.
Butlins or Pontins?
Pontins,
yeah.
Pontins. So you literally have to pay for it. So that's a fixed cost that you can negotiate, but it's not cheap. And on top of that, you got to do the coaches. On top of that, you got to do your promotion. On top of that, you got to book the DJs. How much of a headache is all this? Because at the end of the day, these figures keep adding up and they go into zeros. The zeros keep adding onto your balance sheet. Is there at some point that you think, what have I got myself into?
Darren.
CEO.
I think, again, when speaking to Philip and Richard, when they was doing it, it was everything was a lot lower. I think we've come in after COVID,
At the high end.
and when I told them the site costs and the coach costs, they were like, "Wow, gone up, doubled, tripled in some cases." So for them, it was an eye opener. Like, wow, like how you guys gonna do it? You need to put the price up, and yeah.
And this is what people, I think, some people them don't realise. They only just look at, oh, you're doing a weekender, but don't look at the logistics behind it, that if you fall flat on your face...
That's a house, man. It's literally a house.
6 years, 7 years out.
Yeah, I mean, and for a company, you're a very young company now, even though your legacy says different. But with that on your back, as to say that you're one of the only people that I know, or companies that I know, that do the weekenders for us. You know, there's some other weekenders that go on, but they don't accommodate the type of DJs and the type of people and the type of community that we have. You know what I mean? They're just aimed at another set of community. So if we lose that, we kind of lose there's a big hole within our raving scene.
Absolutely.
And what people are comfortable going with, because there's not so much, there's not X amount of clubs that are there for everybody. This is a once a year thing that people look forward to. It's their only once a year event that they look forward to. How difficult is it knowing that it's this kind of legacy that you're holding within your palm of your hand, that it's something that we want to push you forward to keep on doing year in, year out, but how difficult is it to actually do so?
Difficult, but at the same time, I think last year we was due to have the weekender in Prestatyn, Pontins, and that unfortunately closed down. So we reached out to a lot of people and said, look, the site's closed down. We're going to try and find a new site. Please bear with us and let us do that. A lot of people said, MJR Family, you're the brand we trust. You guys, that's fine. We'll wait. We don't want our money back. Find a new site. And that's what showed us that, do you know what? People really want the weekender. Some people said, no matter where you guys go, we're following. We'll be there. And yeah.
They've done that. Southport's closed down as well now, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Bloody hell. I've got some memories there.
So how difficult, I mean, you've gone to another site which is a slightly less numbers, because this is, it was obviously very late in the day. That day went into receivership, and then you get the call 2 days later saying that the gates are closed for you also. Never mind whatever money that you may have given them, that you now have to wait until the due process takes place to even see if you get back some of your money, let alone all of your money.
Yeah.
How hard is the process now finding another location for you to go and have the weekender?
It's been hard.
It's difficult because you have to understand what we're asking. Not everybody. So imagine you can have a meeting, have a board meeting, and you say, yeah, we want 72-hour license. We want
Last man standing.
last man standing.
Chalet party.
Sometimes the expression on their face just says it alone. Like, you want what? But it's not. I don't know if it will continue. Hopefully, we're always going to try our best. But I think things are changing. So it's either you're going to decide you're going to carry on moving with the times, or
when you say moving with the times and continue, you mean like lessening the raving part of it and introducing more daytime activities and
yes, because
family oriented.
Most places you will find now they won't give you that right all the way through from 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 12 o'clock in the night until.
It is a bit much though, isn't it?
It is a bit much.
No, but
Yeah,
no, but hold on. No, it isn't. And I will tell you why. No, it isn't. And I will tell you why. No, it isn't. Because what I've seen over the years is that there's a few types of people. So you get the people that ain't coming out at 12 o'clock. They're just not. They'll sleep till 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Then they'll come out and they'll rave to when it finishes at 3, 4 o'clock. You get the people that come out at 12, do a 3, 4 hours, go home or wherever their cabin is at that time, sleep, come back out again, and then rave to the end. And then you have the people that Brownie used to be, last man standing. They're there from
Brownie's
all the way,
Brownie's still last man standing.
Non-stop raving.
And
He's still last
enjoying
man
themselves.
standing. Don't let him
Just not that same person.
You know what I mean?
So you ain't gonna catch me drunk no more, or nothing like that.
What, you don't have to? What, you don't drink?
I've had to cut down.
Oh, you're about to cut down.
I've been there, mate. I've been there. I understand.
No, but you are an integral part of our community in terms of what you do. There's no other business that provides what you do for our community. So I would implore you to keep looking. There must be a break. You know what I mean? There must be somebody who can open up a door for you somewhere. You know what I mean? But don't use the word that you're not doing it. You have to do it.
No, for us, we're fully invested. It's not even about money. It's about keeping the legacy going, keep Mikey's name going. I'm more interested in that. You have to understand that over the years, I mean, that's a good 20 odd years of a weekender. Some people, I just see you every year. at the weekender. Like, you
Exactly,
wouldn't think that I could see you once a year. The way we know each other and the way we bond, because it starts from the coach journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the coach journey with
You know,
food,
by the time you
drinks.
get on that coach,
Yeah.
you don't know half of the people, but by the time you finish, you know everyone now.
By the time you get to Watford,
you
Watford
know
stop
what I'm saying?
camp, you know everyone.
Everybody's close now. And then over the years, it brings people together. There's
And it's
something
not
about
just a London
bringing
thing.
people together.
It's not just a London thing,
No,
your
yeah.
coach.
No.
They come from all over the UK.
Manchester,
Is that right?
Bristol,
Gloucester, Birmingham,
Yeah.
for years as well.
I would love to know about some great memories. Like, what are some of your highlights over the years at the weekends? Anything funny happened? Anything outrageous? Any funny stories?
Leave out the outrageous
Football
one.
teams
Leave out the
lost.
outrageous.
Yeah, you know, because you guys have a football match as well, don't you? And
Tug of war.
all types of
We
stuff.
used to play football.
And
we
netball.
used to have our sport. we
Netball,
used to have
Vilma
our
and that
sports
used to-
team. I
yeah,
used to
yeah,
play.
yeah,
I mean, I was winning a lot. You know?
So what's your best memory from 20 odd years?
Oh, I have so
Or
many.
30 odd years?
My best memory.
Yeah, keep it clean though, Brownie, please.
What are you saying? 5 in the chalet?
It's got to be a chalet party. No?
Nah, well, yeah.
Sorry,
definitely
Tanya,
chalet parties
sorry.
was always one, but I think
Tanya's got a memory.
one of my best memory would have been at Great Yarmouth in the Queen Vic. I mean, there was one particular dance where I don't know what it was, but I just think people respected me more.
You had arrived. You had arrived.
I had a right. Yes, I felt very welcome. But what people don't, why I have to laugh is like when everyone say, "Yeah, Brownie, you're still standing. I can't believe you're still here." Because some people went to bed, they come back, they didn't even realize. Like as soon as I walked out the hall, it was like I fell over. I was on the floor for like another 20 minutes. And someone came and picked me up and said, "Let me take you home." Yeah, I mean, but
Tanya?
honestly,
I'm trying to think.
it's hard to say what's your best memory because every
No,
year,
any funny moments? Like, there must be someone, man. I know you don't want to you don't have to mention names.
A patron getting sick or something.
You know, every weekend there has something.
people
Or
Right.
seen,
people
or
being
seen
sick
somebody
and
come out of
jumping,
someone's.
it's something
Yeah,
that
you
I'm
see
sure
Ray
every-
coming out of somebody's chalet
And how
about
hard is
20
it to
years
get
ago.
a gold room as well? Like, we should have gone into the gold room business. You get me? For 20 odd years, I never got a gold room, you know. Never ever. Mikey promised me one every year after about 8 years. Yeah. Gold chalet. Every year the gold chalets them.
Yeah,
God.
those chalets were always secret.
There must be the money rooms,
Right.
yeah?
I just have lots of, but you mentioned about chalets and people, whatever, and you do see a lot, and you can't unsee, and it's very much
And the walk of shame.
kind
The
of
walk
thing.
of shame.
Yeah. But you know what? I think for me, it's just being, well, I've got two things. One is not a nice memory. You know when you're sleeping, you've woken up to get ready, and you go to turn on your tap, and there's no water. Do you not remember that yet?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that can happen. That
Exactly.
can-
Yeah.
It was like that.
Yeah.
And then we happened to like Sally wash with Evian water. And I was like, nah, I'm going back to my bed. I'm waiting. But this is what I remember, that your dad was a really good electrician. Because there was one site we went to, and I think everybody was using the electricity all at the same time. And the fuse just went. And I saw Uncle Mikey fixing whatever. But then I remember my dad and Mikey saying when they were going into different rooms, abandoned rooms where people were in the rave, there was like straighteners on, heating on,
Okay.
oven on, so everyone was whatever. But that's when I realised your dad was actually a really good electrician. Yeah,
So they were so quick to get into the rave, they left everything on.
it's free.
Just done out the.
Yeah,
done out
because
the
they didn't have
electric.
to pay for
it's
it.
free.
Yeah,
It's cold,
yeah,
it's
that
cold as
happens.
well.
Yeah,
It's cold up
yeah.
there.
Anybody ever cleared the dance floor? Come on.
Ooh.
Let's not go into that one.
Why?
Let's not go into that one.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say you can't. It'd be very hard to completely clear the dance floor.
Okay.
Oh, but you know what we mean. That big circle that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
Anyway, Darren, Portugal. Your numbers have gone up quite extraordinarily over the last two years. From about 350, I think Mikey was operating about. You've gone up more than that now, haven't you?
A little bit higher, yes.
Yeah.
Double.
No. Treble.
I think so.
Well done.
Mikey,
No, well done,
Mikey
well done,
wanted to
well
keep
done.
it at like 300, 350.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. What made you want to go over those numbers?
I didn't.
What happened?
It's one of them ones
Demand and
that got
supply,
away.
man.
Miscalculations. Then all of a sudden it was raw.
Do you know what? I work with a really great guy named Hugo over there.
Yeah, Hugo's
and
good, man.
Hugo's brilliant. He wants to make, what's the festival over there? They've got
Afrofest is over there.
Afro
Portugal.
Fest. So
Nation, yeah,
Afro
got quite a
Nation, that's
few,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Afro
So
Nation,
Hugo's
yeah.
always saying Afro Nation, you can bring over 3,000 people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, we need to get there. we need to get there. So each year, yes, we have
Increase.
we have doubled each year. Yeah.
So this year, you're going higher again.
Gonna try to. Yeah. Gonna try to go higher. We
And
got
just-
yeah.
And just for our audience, again, just let them know when it is. When is it?
October the 3rd to October the 10th. So it's a Thursday to Thursday. I know some DJs like to come Friday to Sunday, but we are Thursday.
Monday. Thursday to Monday.
And you know what's funny? When you go, Ray, the people miss you. They always say, why is Ray
Say that
gone?
again. Say that again. Darren, say that again.
Why is Fifth Avenue going? We miss Ray. They miss you. You know? They want us to make you stay for the week.
No.
Okay, I'll take it under advisement.
Line up his head now. Jesus Christ.
No. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, and maybe this is the point why I say this, because there's some things I want to go into. His dad is the best promoter, and I'm not saying it because Mikey is not here. That loyalty and support that he's given Fifth Avenue over the years, even when certain things was going against us, Mikey wouldn't business. That didn't concern Mikey. Mikey was just concerned about what you do for him and how you interact with him and his brand. And I've lent on his shoulder over the years when we started Coco. I've had conversations with him, and he was never more than willing to give me nuggets, you know, information that would help me. There's never once that I asked Mikey for anything and he would hold it back or whatever. He'd just come forward. Yeah, this, that. You know what I mean? So I just thought I'd just have to say that so you know that, you know what I mean? The love I have for that man is just so real. You know what I mean?
So you can return the favour now and stay till Sunday or Monday.
Might do. We got 8 minutes left, and before we finish, I've got a little thing that I want to do with these guys. CEO business, the Diary of a CEO cards. What I want you guys to do, EastEnder, can you make them choose one card each, please, and then.
Wow, new production, 2024.
2024.
You lot
And can you give me the
spend a lot
card
of money,
back so I
innit?
can answer the
Producers.
question back to them? So Tanya, your question is, who is the one person in your life that deserves the greatest thanks? And if you were to give them the thanks today, what would you say?
I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat and say parents,
Okay.
because I can't choose between my mum and dad. They're both amazing people. Give me good advice. There for me all the time. Tough love, amazing love. What was the second part of the question?
And what would you say to them?
Do you know what I noticed I don't say to my parents? I don't say, I love you.
Yeah.
I don't say that enough. We have conversations and we end them and it's like, bye. And I don't actually say I love you. So that's what I would say. I love you.
Good. Darren, what is your biggest insecurity?
I'll say this is a typical man one. I think my hairline.
You ain't old
definitely.
enough to worry about your hairline yet.
Yeah, definitely. I wear a hat a lot because I'm not happy with my hairline. Simple as that. Yeah.
Fair play.
Definitely. Okay, cool. Brownie, what are you missing most in your life?
A woman.
Brandy. Brandy. Was he?
I would have to say it's a partner because I've been single for a few years.
Are you still playing that single card there, yeah?
Don't worry.
You have to understand, Ray, yeah. I mean, women these days, being what I do as an MC, promoter. I mean, these things don't attract women.
No, they do.
Not no more.
They do.
I mean, what I'm trying to say is like, apparently I'm not husband material. So I do miss that. I do.
Listen, I feel you, mate. I've been there. I'm still there.
Give them one more try. Give them one more try. Give them one more try again. I like
Let's
this.
go again. Let's go. Brownie, you go first. Darren, you're next.
Yeah, over here.
All right, this one's Brownie.
This was Brownie. So Brownie,
Darren, Tanya, save the best to last.
what would you do if you absolutely wasn't afraid of anything?
That's a good question.
What would I do if I wasn't afraid
Of anything, yeah.
of anything?
Anything. What would you do? What would the one thing that you say, right, that I'm going to do? Because you're afraid of some things now. Everyone's got a phobia or something, or afraid of something. So what would you do?
Probably jump out of a parachute.
Jump out of a
Out
plane.
of a plane,
Plane
yeah.
with a parachute.
I'm like, Jesus.
I've always wanted to do it.
That's testing the luck there, mate.
I was meant to do it on my 40th and I bottled out.
Right.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's something that frightens me too, man. I don't think there's
You know?
anything there.
But I think, when God spare life, I reach 50, I'll do it.
You are going to reach for it, man. Don't worry.
You know?
Darren, what lesson have you learned from your lowest point, and is there anything about it that you're grateful for?
It's a good question. Definitely one of my lowest points. So this is very personal. I know I was married for a few years, and when I got divorced, I had to move back home and live with my mum for a little bit, and that was hard. And as a man, when you get divorced and you move out of the marital home, you start again, and it was a low point, and you start seeing the kids again, and you have to buy them. You bought them their iPad, and you got to buy it again. Their clothes, you got to buy it again. So you're buying twice. You're living at home, and life becomes different. And you know, it was hard, and I've learnt now that family is everything. And yeah, it was a hard time. I'm good now.
Good. Thanks for sharing that one there, because that is definitely a hard thing when families break up and so forth. Thanks. Tanya. Oh, this is a nice one for you. What is your personal legacy? What is a personal legacy you want to leave for yourself or children?
So, my background is actually working with children. I'm actually training to be a therapist at the moment, and I would like to specialise in working with children. And my passion, because I used to work for a quite big charity called Kids Company, and Camilla, God rest her soul, And what I would like to do is actually open my own charity with supporting disadvantaged children. But not only that, children that are going through mental health issues. Because what I've noticed is since COVID, there's a lot of young people that are, even as women, people overlook certain things, and anxiety is one of the main things that a lot of people are going through. And I think that would be something good for me to leave. And also, I've got one son, and I think that'd be good for him to kind of see that I've done that as well. So he can kind of see that he's able to basically do whatever he wants to do. And I think it's quite important for us to teach our children to run businesses. That's one thing I don't think they teach in schools. They don't teach our children to be CEOs. They teach us to work for other people. So that's what I would like to do for him.
This is why you cannot stop doing what you do. Right, so before we go, we've got about a minute left. Where can they get hold of MJR Family socials? Instagram?
So we are on Instagram, is it MJR_family? Yeah, MJR_family. We're on Facebook. Same. I should really know this, shouldn't I?
As you were the manager.
Let me check my phone quickly. You know what? If you type in MJR on Instagram, you'll find us. If you type in MJR on Facebook you'll find us, and we also got our website, www.mjrfamily.com.
.co.uk.
Our next event is Caribbean Weekender in April. The dates is the 26th of April to 29th. And then after that, we have our lovely day party, Touch of Red, followed by our amazing Mikey Day
for the community.
For the community. That's amazing.
Thank you. We didn't even get to talk about your branded clothes and the lovely way that you do. We forgot to talk about that. Our full apologies. You know what I mean? You can't say that because we are. So, anyway. We didn't get to talk about your branded clothing, and we would have loved to have talked a bit about that. But keep on wearing it. It definitely distinguishes you, definitely makes the brand awareness much more stronger. So keep on doing that. Coco's got to do that. We've got to follow some of that. So we'll get onto that. But
Might be a bit too expensive.
But no, but I know they've already given me their link, so that's cool.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, I'm talking about because I know you're a dresser, so you know.
We're family.
Yeah, I mean.
So not as much as this Brownie rock is here.
Oh, Dolce & Gabbana.
He's using Da Vinci shirts and putting MJR in.
Jesus.
Anyway,
Believe in a brand, you know. I believe in us, you know.
We look forward to meeting up with you guys soon, and I know you lot support us anyway, so you know that our support is always there for you. Thank you for coming on Set the Trend, and you are definitely what your fathers have started, an uncle, definitely has been a legacy that has definitely impacted on the whole of the community. The whole of the community, and has inspired a lot of us around it. So. Do not stop inspiring. Thank you very much. MJR.
Salute.
Salute.
Big up.
Thank you very much for having us.